it clear if it is to you? Last time we were numericals. Wait for a minute. Okay. So here is the numerical. You can see the last which was we doing unit unit number 5 and numerical number 9. The last one, second last. It's on page number. Now you on the board. Hold it for you that you can check it out if you have didn't do it yet. Its given data states that it's page number 95, numerical number 9. A gas occupies a volume of 35 dm cube at 17 degrees centigrade. Now V1 is 35 decimeter cube and temperature is 17 degrees centigrade, and we have to convert it into Kelvin, so we will add 273 and the answer will be 290. Then if the gas temperature rises to 34 degrees centigrade, we will convert 34 into Kelvin, the value will be 307 Kelvin. Then we have to determine the volume and calculate the new volume. Now according to Charles' law, you know that V1 over T1 is equal to V2 over T2, and we will take V2 over there and remaining values will going to be multiplying over there T1. So the answer comes is 37.05 dm cube. This was the solution of numerical number 9. Now numerical number 10. The largest moon of Saturn is Titan. It has atmospheric pressure of 1.6 into 10 raised to the power 5 pascals. So just wait a minute. It's 5 pascal, and we have written it's over here. You can see P is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to the power 5 pascal, and first we have to convert this into atmosphere. So we all know that 101325 pascal is equal to 1 atmosphere. Then we will convert it and simply we will multiply the given pressure. The answer is 1.5 atmosphere, and we can say that obviously the Titan's atmospheric pressure is greater than that of Earth. Earth's atmospheric pressure, which we have determined, that is 1.5, and the above one is 1.6 into 10 raised to the power 5 pascal. So Titan's atmospheric pressure is greater than that of Earth's atmospheric pressure. So this was all about our unit number 5. Now we are going to start our unit number 6, but before that I have told you there will be an oral test, and I will ask some questions one by one, and you have to give me the answer of that. Right. Okay. Yes, Usman, please unmute your mic. Have you prepared the test?
Yes.
Whole chapter?
चलिए whole chapter तो नहीं किया.
Then कितना किया?
ये boys law तक.
Boys law था बस.
Yes.
Okay, all of you please switch on your videos. Videos on करें सब.
Wait.
Zuhaib, Ibrahim, Usman, Muzna. Switch on your videos.
जी तो सारे लीव कर गए.
एक ही करके गया. Anyways, switch on. Have you switched it on?
मैंने कर लिया.
Why I can't see? Zohaib, you also?
जब मैं नहीं कर सकता
Yes,
क्या
Zohaib,
ये
switch on
स्लो
करें.
उठाऊं?
देखा, last time I have told you that I will take your test and please switch on your videos. मुजना, चले उस्मान, आप मुझे सुनाएं.
Yes.
Okay, tell me some typical. Look at me. Look at the camera.
Yes.
Tell me some typical properties of gaseous state.
Diffusion. Gases have a lot of typical properties. Some of them are listed down below. Diffusion. Diffusion is defined as a spontaneous mixing up of gases to form a homogeneous mixture. Some gases diffuse faster than other gases. The diffusion of gases depends upon the molecular masses of gases. H2 diffuses 4 times faster than O2 gas.
Acha, what is H2?
H2 hydrogen gas.
Why we are not writing H only? Why we have written H2?
क्योंकि H सिंगल फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता, H2 होता है.
नहीं, H सिंगल फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट करता है, लेकिन हाइड्रोजन गैस जो है उसके 2 मॉलिक्यूल्स हाइड्रोजन के मिल के हाइड्रोजन गैस को बनाते हैं. राइट. अब आप मुझे बताएं, व्हाट इज बॉयल्स लॉ?
Boyle's law.
उसकी मुझे डेरिवेशन बस बता दें. एट द एंड क्या आता है हमारे पास, जो हमने न्यूमेरिकल्स में भी यूज़ किया है, इक्वेशन जो है. न्यूमेरिकल्स हम कर रहे हैं ना, जगह जगह हम अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. दैट वी आर अप्लाइंग चार्ल्स लॉ, नाउ वी आर अप्लाइंग बॉयल्स लॉ. तो क्या हम अप्लाई करते हैं, क्या इक्वेशन लिखते हैं, जिसकी वजह से फिर हम फार्मूला को रीअरेंज करते हैं. लुक एट योर बुक, पेज 78.
V equals K over P या फिर VP equals K constant.
No, 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 Usman, you didn't prepare. Even you didn't listen the lectures, I think. You can see experimental verification of Boyle's law. उससे ऊपर देखें, second last line, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. It is the final form of Boyle's law. ठीक है, चलें.
Yes.
इफ़ यू विल नॉट डू इट, साथ साथ नहीं करोगे तो कैसे आगे चलेगा सारा कुछ. वी आर मूविंग इनटू 6 चैप्टर, और देख लो पीछे वाला भी वैसे का वैसा रहता है. मैं तो ज़्यादा पढ़ाती भी नहीं आप लोगों को. आई जस्ट गिव 30 मिनट्स लेक्चर मैक्सिमम. नेक्स्ट टाइम इसको प्रिपेयर करना है, ठीक है.
Okay.
चलें, जुहेब, जुहेब, आर यू देयर?
Yes.
ओके, हैव यू प्रिपेयर द टेस्ट?
Still no.
व्हाई?
ये याद नहीं रहा टेस्ट के बारे में.
कितनी बुरी बात है जुहेब.
लेकिन थोड़ा थोड़ा याद है, जैसे कि चार्ल्स लॉ, बॉयल्स लॉ, उसकी इक्वेशन थोड़ा थोड़ा याद है.
डेफिनेशन आती है चार्ल्स लॉ की?
क्यों नहीं?
अच्छा, इसकी डेरिवेशन सुनाओ चार्ल्स लॉ की.
फिर P1
चार्ल्स
के
लॉ.
V1 चार्ल्स लॉ की, तो यही है ना, P1 के नीचे 1 is equal to
No,
P.
no, no. Pressure is always constant in Charles' law, so we have nothing to do with pressure in derivation. Open page number 81.
न्यूमेरिकल्स थे उसमें तो यही था ना.
वो बॉयल्स लॉ था. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2.
ओके, V1 over T1 is equal to V2 over T2.
हाँ जी, दिस इज़ द डेरिवेशन, दिस इज़ द फार्मूला वी आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई. इसका मतलब है आप लोग न्यूमेरिकल भी साथ साथ नहीं कर रहे, क्योंकि मैंने आप लोगों को कहा टिल द मोमेंट आप लोग न्यूमेरिकल साथ साथ नहीं करेंगे. यू विल,
V1 की जगह जब मैंने गलती से ना P1 बोल दिया.
गलती नहीं ना करनी. चलो मुझे आंसर दो एक चीज़ का. 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to how many pascals? 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to how many pascals? अभी जब मैंने आपको न्यूमेरिकल करवाया, ओवर देयर इज अ कन्वेयन। 1 एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर कितने पास्कल्स के इक्वलेंट है?
पता नहीं,
हैं?
ये मुझे नहीं पता
ओपन
इसका।
पेज 93।
93?
हैव यू ओपन इट?
ये 93 पे एक्सरसाइज है।
या 6 नंबर, चेक इट आउट।
ओके।
व्हाट्स द आंसर?
101325।
या ठीक है, ये मैंने आपको तब भी बताया था व्हेन आई वाज गिविंग यू द आंसर्स ऑफ दिस चैप्टर। मैं आपको
यस।
बार बार बता रही थी, देख लें क्लास 9, आप लोग अच्छे बच्चे ही इस तरह से कर रहे हैं, ऊपर से हंस रहे हो।
मैं तो नहीं हंस रहा।
चलें, एनीवेज इसको आपने प्रिपेयर करना है, चाहे थोड़ा थोड़ा करके प्रिपेयर करें, जिस तरह भी इट्स योर विल, प्लीज़ डू इट, ठीक है। यस मुजना, कैन यू प्लीज़ स्विच ऑन योर वीडियो? मुजना, अहमद, अनम्यूट योर माइक।
चाहिए अहमद नहीं है।
देन
ये मेरी अहमद शम्सी से बात हुई थी, वो बता रहा था कि मेरी बहन प्रमोट हो गई है, लिशबा है।
ओके anyways, before ending the lecture we will see how many participants are there. You people are not at all serious about your studies, boys.
तो लगता है इन्हें पता चल गया कि शायद टेस्ट हो चुका होगा, तो ये वापस आ गए।
I don't know what is the case. Anyways,
ये देखे ना टीचर, कुछ तो है प्लान इनका। ये सारे एक एक करके गए हैं और उसी पैटर्न में ये वापस आ गए हैं।
leave serious about your studies. I don't know whether you have get it or not, that from the next week your classes are going to be increased. There are 3 classes in 1 week, and we have almost 3 classes in 1 week, plus your videos will be switched on so that we can see either you are in proper position or not. Like Zuhaib was saying, I just wake up now. It's not the time to wake up right after 10 o'clock. You have to be in your proper condition so that teachers can see you, either you are taking interest in classes or not. Number 2, your attendance on daily basis will be taken, right? So please be prepared for the class. बहुत हो गया कोरोना, अब आ जाओ सीरियस हो जाएं। Okay, so we are going to discuss with our chapter number 6, that is solutions. In this chapter what we are going to study about solutions. You can also open your books, it's page number 96, right? So somehow मेरे पास कोई miscommunication हो गई है. I can't give you the lecture right now on the board, otherwise I will prefer to give it on the board, but for that time we will study from here. So what we are going to study in solutions, we are going to study that what are solutions, how we can differentiate with others, what is aqueous solution, what is solute and what is solvent, and so many types of solution, how they are made and what is the major role in reactions. Then we will discuss some units, that how we can make molar solutions of different concentrations, in which molality and the units are going to be discussed. So the first one we are going to discuss is about little bit brief and general introduction about solutions. This is the page, hope you all can see, and in it we are going to start with introduction. So all of you know that, anybody knows what is solution? Anybody know? Yes, you have, tell me what is solution. Any idea?
मिक्सचर जो दो से ज्यादा चीजों से मिलकर जो चीज बनी हो वो सॉल्यूशन होगा।
फॉर एग्जाम्पल,
जैसे कि मुझे एग्जांपल नहीं पता।
एग्जाम्पल नहीं पता, थिंक अबाउट इट। हैव यू एवर ट्राई टू मेक स्कंजबी?
यस।
just
व्हाट डिड वी
screwdriver।
डू? स्क्रू ड्राइवर।
फिर उसके अंदर
पीछे वो वोडका के अंदर वो जो ऑरेंज जूस डालते हैं।
Oh my God. Zuhaib, yes, you tell me.
जो उसके अंदर लीमू, चीनी, पानी डलता है, पता नहीं क्या क्या डलता है, उसके बाद
So
स्कंजी
this is
बन
a
जाती है।
solution. This is a solution.
नो, ये तो मिक्सचर हुआ।
No, 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 no. It is a solution. Solution, like if we take salt in water and we just dissolve it, and if we take sugar in water and it gets dissolved it, then it is a solution. Solution is made up of more than one or two, matlab more than two or more components, right? But what is the difference between solution and mixture? There is not much difference. Mixture तो आप किसी भी चीज़ को कह लेते हो, either you take solids and you just mix it up, like you take any kind of flour, atta, and then you mix sugar in it or salt in it, it is a mixture. But when you make some water, add some water in it or some liquid in it, then you are going to make some solution. Clear? Solutions basically are those mixtures which has more than two or more components, means it form a very homogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous mixture is which has the same consistency, in which you can't separate it their components, means you can't separate it that this is the sugar and this is the water. जितनी consistency उसकी होती है हम उसको dissolve कर सकते हैं, till that moment that thing is called as solution. Generally solutions are divided into based on their physical states, and we all know that there are three kinds of physical states. Number one is solid, gas and liquid. On the basis of which we are going to divide the solutions. There are some examples you can see. I am highlighting for you. It's sorry, it's written on the third line that alloy is a solid solution. Then there is an example. Alloy means any kind of metal or any kind of non metal. धातु जिसे हम बोलते हैं, बेटे ये इस तरह से नहीं करें प्लीज़. Alloy is a solid solution, and then you can see the other example that sea water is a liquid solution. In sea water you can ask that how it is a liquid solution. Just I have told you solution has more than two components. Then you can ask that teacher how sea water is a liquid solution, because sea water contains so many minerals that are dissolved in the water, that's why it is said that it is a liquid solution. And then there is an example of gaseous solution, that is air. Air is a gaseous solution because in air there are so many gases present which are miscible with each other, and we are able to breathe in the air. Basically we have categorized solutions into 9 different types. How many types? 9 different types. This can come in your exams as well as a short question, short MCQ, that there are 9 types of solutions ranging from gas to gas. On the next page you can also see on page number 99 there is a table. If you please switch on page number 99, you will able to see the table. The table states that there are 9 kinds. You can see solute, solvent, and then there are example of solution which are going to be joined. So number 1 is gas, then there are gas, liquid, and on different basis we have categorized 9 important uh, 9 important types of solutions, right? We will go when we will on page number 99 we will going to discuss it. Now you can say that liquid solutions are basically the most common solutions, because in which we are adding the solution, adding the water or adding some other kind of liquid, we say it is the solution. So we can say that liquid solutions are the major and most common solutions because of the most common solvent, water. And all of you know that the water is basically universal solvent. Do you know that? Zoeb, do you know that water is the universal solvent?
No.
No? And what about you, Usman?
टीचर पढ़ा तो था लेकिन भूल गया.
Why? It is a very common thing that water is a universal solvent. Why it is called as universal solvent? Anybody?
क्योंकि इसके साथ बहुत सारी चीजें मिक्स होती हैं.
Because yes, this is the answer. Because it has the ability to mix almost each and everything inside. So that's why water is known as universal solvent, right?
Yes.
So that's why we are saying that liquid solutions are the most common type of solutions. There are so many other solutions as well, like when gas is going to be mixed with gas, when there is liquid is going to be mixed with solid, but water is considered as the universal solvent. So on the basis of that, we can say that liquid solutions are the most common solutions, right?
Yes.
So we can say that there are so many different type of liquid solutions that are ranging, like if we take that drop of rain that forms oceans, and if we say seawater, and I have told you previously that seawater is a resource of 92 naturally occurring elements. Please underline this one. It is an important MCQ. I am also highlighting it for you. Seawater is a source of 92 naturally occurring elements. Please underline this. It's an important MCQ. It can come like seawater is a resource of dash naturally occurring elements. So you have to mention that 92. Just keep this thing in your mind. It's very easy to remember. Now, it should be clear that what are solutions and how it is going to be categorized. Now we are moving towards solution, the proper definition of solution. Like these terminologies can come into your exams like with 2 marks, and you have to write down the definition along with 1 or 2 examples, so that there will be no deduction of your marks, right? So we can say that about solution we are going to study, and we can say that solution is basically, what is it? It is a homogeneous. Homogeneous is an important word. If you miss it, you will simply deducting your marks. So homogeneous is an important word to keep in your mind, that a solution is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more substances. The same thing which I have told you when I start the chapter, and it says that it is the definition. You can make inverted commas around it. Bete, if you have switched on your mics, please switch it off, Usman. And one more, I don't know, he or she didn't mention the name. Okay. So the boundaries of the components can't be distinguished. This is the example of homogeneous mixture in which you are unable to distinguish that where is solute and where is solvent. With the passage of time, we are moving towards solute and solvent as well. If I am mixing some sodium chloride or table salt, or the salt which is present in our home in little bit quantity of water, it is getting mixed, and we can't distinguish that where is water and where is salt. The color will be slightly slimy, and it can be turned towards whitish, but we are unable to find out either it is mixture or either it is a solution. So the boundaries of the components can't be distinguished. Now we are taking the example that air in which we breathe in a solution of it is of several gases. Means in the air we have oxygen, we have nitrogen gas, we have some traces of other gases as well, and carbon dioxide, and all the gases are present. So this is also an example of gas to gas solution, in which gas is miscible with the other one, miscible which is totally mixed, which can't be separated out, right? Then there is another example in your book, brass. Brass is basically a metal which is a mixture of 2 further metals, that is zinc and copper, in which 50% zinc and 50% copper is present. The metal formed is brass. And another example I have just given it to you, that sugar is dissolved in water, is also an example of the liquid solution. Now there is another paragraph which is going to be started, and you can measure it, you can mark it as from here the simplest to the it has a variable composition till here. It is a short question, and it can come just like that. How can you differentiate between a solution and a pure liquid? You can also write it down on your books, that it can also come as a short question, that how can you distinguish, or you can separate or make a difference between a solution and a pure liquid, right? So the simplest way to distinguish between a solution and a pure liquid is always evaporation. Now in the previous chapter you have studied about evaporation, that what is evaporation. Anybody from you want to tell me?
जब where is the answer that
Yes
you
bete.
have told now? जो अभी अभी आपने आंसर बताया वो कहाँ पर है?
It's the answer is just evaporation. The simplest way to distinguish between a solution and a pure liquid is evaporation. That's it. Right? Yes, anyone wants to tell me what is evaporation? Ibrahim, switch, bete unmute karna zara mic and tell me. Ibrahim Shafiq. Ibrahim, no response from you. Yes, Usman, please tell me what is evaporation.
Evaporation is the process in which when we heat a liquid, its molecules break down and it turns into a gas. किसी liquid का gas के अंदर
Return into
a gas.
give me an example.
तो जैसे पानी हम बॉईल करते हैं नहाने के लिए, तो अक्सर उसमें से काफी ज्यादा पानी वो इवेपोरेट हो जाता है, वाटर वेपर बन जाता है.
Any other example?
तो या फिर जैसे हम अक्सर अपनी कार वॉश करते हैं तो काफी सारा पानी ऐसे स्ट्रीट के अंदर गिर जाता है, तो जब हम शाम को आके देखते हैं तो पानी गायब हुआ होता है, वो इवेपोरेशन होता है. जैसे किसी लेक से इवेपोरेशन होती है, तो वो पानी जब ऊपर उठता है तो फिर वो ठंडा होता है तो क्लाउड्स बनते हैं. ये भी वाटर साइकिल के अंदर आता है. फिर रेन होती है. इवेपोरेशन एक बहुत बड़ा कॉज है रेन के लिए.
Okay, that's good, very good. Evaporation, basically it is the process in which the liquid is converted into the gas, right? So many examples Usman has quoted and that were very well. Shabash, good. So we was talking about that to distinguish between a solution and a pure liquid is evaporation. Now the answer is how. Basically evaporation is a process in which all the liquid is going to be converted into the steam. Steam is a gas phase, right? So if we have a solution in which, let's say I say that sugar and water are going to be mixed with each other. Now how can we identify that it is a solution or it is a pure liquid? Simply boil it, and after boiling what happens, all the water will be evaporated and then there will be some residues. Residue means the remaining portion of sugars over there. So we can see this was not a pure liquid, it was a solution. And if we just simply boil it and all the water is going to be evaporated and there is no residue on evaporation, then we will simply say it is a pure liquid. Like if I just put water and it all evaporated, then it means it is simply a liquid. But if some sugar or some other salt is going to be added, then it will leave some residues. Whenever the school is going to be open, we will also do the experiment on it, that what is the difference between solution and pure liquid, and then you can see and do it with different kind of chemicals like benzene and many alcohols have the ability to evaporate just at room temperature. So we can estimate that this one is either pure liquid or this is a solution. So the simplest way to distinguish is evaporation, and we have told how. We will simply perform the experiment, and if the liquid evaporate leaving no residue, we can say it is a pure compound, and where the liquid is going to be leaving some kind of residues on evaporation, then it is known as to be the solution. Now there are some examples that an alloy like brass or bronze is also a homogeneous mixture. This is the example of solid into solid, although it cannot be separated by physical means. But it is not possible that we take an alloy and we started to distinguish that it is made up of what and what, because this is a mixture of solid into solid. The evaporation process is just for the liquids. On gases evaporation doesn't apply. As we have studied in physical states of matter, evaporation is the major property of liquids. Though this phenomena is also observed in gases, but not as that much. We can't see it with our naked eye. We can see only liquids with our naked eye, that evaporation is going to be from one place to the other place. Then there is that we can consider as it shows the properties of its component, and number 2, it has a variable composition. Means variable composition, like if I am taking the example of brass or bronze, it might has more quantity of zinc and less quantity of copper, and vice versa. Means it has more quantity of copper and less quantity of zinc. So it has variable composition, but the ultimate result will be the same. Little bit composition can be changed, and it does not going to be affect the our final thing, right? So now coming towards the other topic, that is, you can see aqueous solution and 2017 and 2019. These are the years when these questions are coming, like define these terminologies with an example, or you can write it down with the examples which are mentioned in your book. It's necessary to mention these books, right? Now, what is aqueous solution? As the name is indicated, aqueous. Being a chemistry student, you should know that whenever there is aqueous, meaning it means water, H2O, right? Good. So aqueous solution is the solution which is made by dissolving in the water, and you have to learn this definition word by word from your book. The solution which is formed by dissolving a substance in water is called an aqueous solution. Simple is the answer, that the solution which is formed when we dissolve a substance in water is called an aqueous solution. So in aqueous solutions, water is always present in greater amount. Obviously, when we are taking salt or sugar, it's a very general example, and I think everyone has do it. That's why I am repeating the same example again and again, so that you can understand more betterly. So aqueous solution, water is always present in great amount, because water is acting as a solvent. The thing which is in excess is always known as solvent. It's written over here, solvent, 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 and the thing which is going to be dissolved in that, it is known as solute, right? Like when we are making the mixture or the solution of sugar in water or salt in water, we can say the water is acting as a solvent because it is in much greater amount than the solute, and the thing which is going to be added in that is known as solute. Like sugar in water and table salt in water. Over here, sugar is solute and water is solvent. Similarly, table salt in water, salt is solute which is in less quantity, and water in greater one, that is known as solvent. Aqueous solutions are mostly used in the laboratories. Whenever we are going to do some work in the labs, we make aqueous solutions. Like if we are taking even an acid that is in liquid form, if I say you have to make the solution of HCl, hydrochloric acid, you have to make dilute acid. Dilute means जिसकी concentration less हो, कम हो, जिसको मज़ीद आपने पतला किया हो. Like if you are adding more water in that, you will simply take some quantity of water and you will add in the HCl, hydrochloric acid. It will be the dilute solution of HCl. So we do work with liquid solutions in our labs. And here is the thing which I was telling you, that water is called as a universal solvent because it has the ability to dissolve majority of the compounds that are present in our earth's crust, right?